Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. It is a Monday. Hopefully your week is off to a excellent start. Today's video is going to be about TNA's Impact Rebellion pay-per-view that was last night. I thought it was a decent show overall, and it featured the debut of a former WWE superstar. We'll get into that coming up here in just a moment. Don't forget, coming up later on this week, probably on Wednesday, we're going to do our top 10 list of the week, which this week is going to be top 10 all-time heel wrestlers. And also coming up sometime this week, we're going to talk about the NASCAR race that happened yesterday at Talladega. But before I get into today's video, I wanted to say that I've already had a couple of people that have asked me about business or businesses. So I wanted to go ahead and say that if you or you know someone that owns a business and would like for me to give you a shout out on the page, please feel free to let me know. Just let me know your business hours, what all you do, your address, and all that kind of good stuff, and I have no problem giving you a shout out on the air. It would benefit me greatly, and it would probably benefit your business as well. So if you own a business or know someone who does, please feel free to let them know about the channel. But on to today's video. Last night at Impact Rebellion, the pay-per-view, they had 8 matches overall. The show kicked off with the X Division Championship, and Josh Alexander beat Ace Austin and TJP to become the new Impact X Division Champion. Match number 2 of the night was Violent by Design. They beat Chris Sabin, James Storm, Willie Mack, and Eddie Edwards in an 8-man tag team match. And this is the match that featured the debut of a former WWE superstar. He was known originally as Colin Cassidy in the WWE, and then his name became Big Cass. But since he's left the WWE, he's been using the name of Kaz XL on the independent circuit. But at Impact last night, they called him W. Morrissey. I don't know if that'll be his name going forward, or if they'll eventually drop the W and just be Morrissey, or if that's just his name for the time being until they find something else. But last night, he was W. Morrissey. He took the place of Eric Young. Of course, Eric Young is the leader of Violent by Design, but he could not wrestle due to injury, so W. Morrissey made his Impact debut and took the place of Eric Young, and then they won the 8-man tag team match. Match number 3 of the night saw Brian Myers beat Matt Cardona. These guys have been having a feud now for the past few months, but last night was the grudge match, so I'm assuming that was the end of their feud. So Brian Myers beat Matt Cardona. And then in the Knockouts Tag Team Championship match, Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering beat Fire and Flavor, which is Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz, to become the new Impact Knockout Tag Team Champions. And if the name Ellering sounds familiar, yes, Rachel Ellering is the daughter of longtime Legion of Doom manager back in the day, Paul Ellering. And a last man standing match, Trey Miguel beat Sammy Callahan. That was a good match. And then FinJuice beat the Good Brothers to retain their Impact Tag Team Championships. And the semi-main event of the evening saw Deonna Purrazzo beat Tennille Dashwood to retain the Impact Knockout title. And the main event of the evening, Kenny Omega beat Rich Swann, and now Kenny Omega is the TNA World Champion, the Impact World Champion, and the AEW World Champion. So if you watch AEW Dynamite on Wednesday nights, you're going to be seeing Kenny Omega carry around a lot of championship gold here in the next few weeks, as long as this storyline keeps going. So again, Kenny Omega has the TNA World title, the Impact World title and the AEW World title. So he is your AEW and your TNA Unified Champion after beating Rich Swann last night. If you've seen the pay-per-view, please feel free to give me your thoughts about it. If you have not, I encourage you to go back and at least watch some of the highlights. Impact there for a while was struggling, but they're slowly getting back to the good old days of booking some good TV products. So please at least go back and watch the highlights if you're not wanting to go back and watch the entire show. And like I said, later on this week, we'll do our NASCAR review. We're also going to have a top 10 list coming up later on this week. And we should be talking about the NBA playoffs coming up here in about a week or so as well, because it's almost time for the NBA playoffs to start. We'll also do a Braves report coming up sometime later on this week as well. And before we get out of here, don't forget what I mentioned earlier about the businesses. I have no problem doing that. If you think it'll be beneficial to your business, please feel free to let me know. And as the channel grows, it should benefit you as well. And before we get out of here, we'll give you our dad joke of the day on this Monday. Why are elevator jokes so classic and good? It's because they work on so many levels. Which reminds me that I've never told this story before, but the first time I ever rode an elevator, it really uplifted me. But the second time, it let me down. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until tomorrow, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.